Hi folks, this is a video to take you through the missed whole school update if you're a part-time member of staff or weren't able to make that update. So we have the performance development and appraisal information for you on this video. I'm just going to take you through the PowerPoint that we looked at in that meeting. So first of all, Steve and Andy sort of outlined our vision as a school for performance development. We want this to be an ongoing dialogue around practice and development, allowing all staff to develop a process that's owned by the individual and that is time efficient and really effective for staff to complete. We want targets that are clearly linked to the needs of the school, the department and the individual. And Steve was at pains to stress that this is not a punitive process. There should be no fear around this process. And that meetings for performance management are not the first time that somebody would hear if there were concerns about their practice. So you can go in with confidence to this process and be engaged in a professional conversation about your work. It is not a pass or fail situation. So Andy and Steve outlined that at the start of the meeting. The whole sort of appraisal cycle that we're looking at the moment is to review last year and set targets for the coming year. And our meetings are taking place on or around the 13th of October, which is our inset day. So this PowerPoint takes you through the completion of that sort of appraisal cycle from last year, the threshold applications for this year, performance development targets for the year's appraisal cycle, plans for October the 13th, and how to review. And there is a guide, a step-by-step guide being emailed out along with this video for all staff as well. So completing the appraisal cycle. All reviewees, so everybody needs to complete their objectives from the cycle that we've just finished. This is done by going into Blue Sky, clicking onto your objective, adding any notes, any evidence. Your exam analysis is important if you're a classroom teacher to add in. And then you just click complete. And if you can do that no later than 24 hours before your meeting, please, that would be really helpful. You then need to meet on the day with your line manager, discuss your objectives, and they will have validated those, and they can then close off your review meeting by having some notes written into each of your objectives and selecting fully, partly or not achieved. And again, we were sort of at pains to stress that there won't be any problem if it says not achieved or partly achieved. That won't be linked to pay or anything. It's just to do with that objective, perhaps circumstantial reasons meant that you couldn't get that completed. And that as long as that's understood by all parties and kind of documented, then that's fine. Threshold applications for this year. If you are a member of staff who needs to go through from M6 to UPS 1, there will be a threshold assessment document for you to complete. So just email me if you're not sure about where to get that. Performance development targets for this year, the appraisal cycle. Well, this is all about us setting targets up for the following year. We have a whole school objective, so that's 2022 to 23, which remains the same as last year's, looking at enabling students, especially those vulnerable pupils, to make exceptional academic progress in line with our whole school performance targets. And there are performance criteria there which are to do with engaging with CPD and basically implementing the strategies that will kind of create that pupil progress. Everybody will then have a departmental target, and your curriculum leader will be guiding you through this, and it will support the DIP. And again, there needs to be performance criteria attached to that. And then a personal objective. So if you are a head of year or a pupil premium advocate, apologies for the typo in there, which says progress leader, you need a sort of target that's attached to that role. And then you can, of course, have a second personal target if you wish. And everybody else, a sort of personal target that needs to be written there, again, with performance criteria attached. And we were emphasising that shouldn't be something like running a club after school or sort of tidying up displays or something. It needs to be linked to that academic progress and development, whether that be at a pastoral level or a teaching and learning level. Okay, so departmental targets, which are going to be created by curriculum leaders. There is an example on the screen there, and curriculum leaders know that I'll be guiding them through this more on Tuesday morning. When you know your departmental target, then ahead of your progress review meeting, you need to think about how you will personally be able to fulfil that. and your personal target, if you can come ready with that for the inset day for the progress review meetings, that would be really helpful. Have a think about what it might be. And it could or should be something that's in line with what you are already going to be setting sail to do this year. So a great example came from one member of staff who said, oh, I'm a mentor for a PGCE student, initial teacher training mentor at the moment. Is that something that I could have as my target? And it's absolutely perfect as a target because it's something that member of staff is already doing, and they want to get better at it and fulfil that effectively and with impact. Ahead of the 13th of October, the itinerary for the day is normal start, which is 8:35, and we'll be finishing normal time at 3:20. So you'll be on site doing planning and marking, but you'll also have your line manager meeting within that time as well. Staff will be involved in EpiPen training if they know about that already. So if you don't know about that, you're probably not involved. And part-time staff, if you're not in school on that day, on a Thursday the 13th, you can be covered on another day to have your performance management meeting, but we cannot cover your line manager to attend. So it just needs to be done in the time that your line manager can make free. This is now for the review cycle. So if you are not a line manager, you could switch off the video at this point. If you are a line manager and you will be reviewing, you need to go in before your review meeting and check that your reviewees' objectives have actually been completed. Check about whether you think those notes and the sort of comments and the evidence that they've gathered is sort of acceptable or enough. And you would then click validate on the screen. You can then wait until the review document is opened up and you can comment on and make a judgment on the assessments there, on the objectives. It's not a judgment of pay, it's just about whether you think it's achieved or partly achieved. And then there's a button to click whether you think the whole review statement is completed, and then you save. If in the meantime you need to keep working on it, just don't mark the review as complete just yet. And then when you're ready, you can click that select box there. Okay. So there's very much a step-by-step guide in the email that is attached to this video. And there are some hard copies knocking about as well. I can get one for you if you are keen to have it in paper form, or you can print it out. I hope that's helpful, and thank you for watching this video.